Now, 2 days ago, I said that the iPhone 15 feels like a real upgrade from last year. And when it comes to the iPhone 15 Plus, it's even better. Now, the iPhone 15 Plus is a phone that, unlike last year's 14 Plus, is actually worth upgrading to. And I feel like it's an even better upgrade than the iPhone 15 because not only does it have all the new features, but it also has the beautiful size. The iPhone 15 has a new dynamic island, supports USB-C, it works really well with iOS 17, and it's just an overall solid device that I feel like many people will like if they don't want to spend 15 Pro Max money. And even though the iPhone 15 Plus has been really great based on my first impression, I wanted to go more in depth in this video as to why it's been a great experience. But before I do that, let's unbox it. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I was unboxing the iPhone 15 Plus was that just like every other iPhone's previous versions, you have that very clean white aesthetic that makes the experience feel similar to other models. On the front, we can see a picture of the iPhone that shows which color version you have, along with a nice green wallpaper. On the right and left side of the box, there's the green iPhone wording, and on the top and bottom, we have the Apple logos, and on the back, we have all of the additional info about your purchase. Now, the first thing that we see when we take the top off of the box is the 15 Plus itself, and I will say that the massive size is the first thing that you will notice. On the back, we have the much better looking and feeling color-infused glass back with the matte coating, which feels just like the Pro series, and we also have the glossy Apple logo with a matte feeling size. We also have the same style camera bumps that look nice with the coated green. You have the main and ultra-wide camera that I will be showing more pictures of later in this video. On the right side of the phone, we have the power button along with a 5G antenna. On the top, we have nothing. On the left side, we have volume rockers and a mute switch. And last but not least, on the bottom, we have the brand new USB-C port, mics, and speakers. And when we look at the screen, we can see the 6.7-inch display that now has the dynamic island cutout in the front. And again, this compared to the 14 Plus feels like an actual upgrade. But as far as resolution, colors, and durability, it's exactly the same. Ceramic shield front with a Super Retina XDR display and an OLED panel. Now, the last things that we have in the box of the 15 Plus is very minimal. We have the starter guide booklet along with Apple stickers. And finally, we have a braided USB-C cable. Now, the iPhone 15 Plus has 5 different colors in this catalog, starting with the colorful green, pink, yellow, and blue. And for the more uniform colors, there's only black. And the version that I have is green, and as you can see, it looks really good. The material felt really good, and it's a very bright, vibrant green that can blind you if you're not too careful. Even when we look at it in the sun, we can see that it can get too bright, but still gives off a very nice clean look that I think many people will like. I again really loved how I had the matte sides that were the same color and continued that very clean aesthetic of the phone. You can tell that Apple wanted it to look as premium as the more upscale phones, and I think that they did a really great job. Also, the matte cover material will result in less fingerprints, so if you rock your phone without a case and you want to show off the color of your new phone, you won't have a problem since they got rid of the glossy back. Now, the iPhone 15 Plus has a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display that I will say was really great, mainly due to its size. It was very bright, the quality is amazing, and the dynamic island really helps it feel new. I again really like the fact that the size was big, but it has small bezels to give it a slightly better visual experience, and I think that with a big frame and small bezels, the viewing experience is phenomenal. The display was very responsive out of the gate. Everything that I clicked on responded very quickly, and I would say that overall, it felt pretty much the same as the iPhone 14 Plus, but that's a really good thing. The 15 Plus will also have iOS 17, and so far it's very smooth. Again, I've been using the ability to share context by putting the top of 2 phones together. The standby feature looks really great, especially due to its size, and the contact card editor felt very immersive. Now, moving on to build quality, when it comes to the build quality on the iPhone 15 Plus, I will say that now, base model iPhones feel much more premium than most phones out there. Again, I really like the matte feel, which helped with its premiumness. But like I said before, the back is glass, so if you're like me and you don't want to harm your phone, you can use a case. But besides that, the front of the 15 Plus has a ceramic shield screen and the back has a glass back, which means that in most cases, if you do drop it a few times, then it most likely won't break, but there's always a risk, especially since iPhone has had terrible scratch resistance. Now, when it comes to physicality, the iPhone 15 Plus has a height of 6.33 inches, a width of 3.06 inches, and weighs about 201 grams, and it feels very light without a case. It fit into my hands very nicely since I have big hands myself, but if your hands are small, it won't feel as comfortable. But that never really stopped any girl from buying a Pro Max phone, so it really doesn't matter. But overall, I think that the size is something that'll be a great compromise for most people since it will give you a great viewing experience and better battery life. Now, moving on to camera, the new iPhone 15 Plus has a 48 megapixel main camera, just like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, along with a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And I will say that just like every year, the base model iPhones are giving us some top tier pictures and videos. We can see that it looks as good as the iPhone 15 Pro, very sharp, very clean, and overall gave off a very natural effect. The selfie camera was very accurate to my skin tone, the colors were sharp and punchy, and I had no complaints since it had the right amount of sharpness. Now, when we look at the daytime inside photos, just like my iPhone 15, there were so many examples of good pictures that I took, and everything that I said about the outside photos can be said about the inside photos as well. And also, I wanted to give you guys an example of how my 15 Plus records video before I gather my final thoughts about it in my review next week. And now when we look at additional specs of the iPhone 15 Plus, it has an A16 Bionic chip. It has storage starting from 128 gigs and goes all the way up to 512 gigs. And it has an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. And there it is, you guys, my review on the iPhone 15 Plus. I'm really glad that Apple made the base model iPhones a really good upgrade, and I can finally say that the Plus series is showing promise. And also, stay tuned for my review dropping next week. But let me know down in the comments, do you guys think that I should do a day in the life on the iPhone 15 Plus? Let me know. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.